Alrighty, and welcome to our favorite sport
Oh,
of our rebranding. We'll get to that in a little second. If you're a little confused, we'll explain it all. But first, we're gonna talk about basically. Sorry about there being no episodes the last 2 weeks. 1 week was an issue with technology. The next week was the issue of like scheduling and whatnot, and again technology. If I wasn't broke and if Robert wasn't broke, we'd be hiring an IT guy at this point. Because holy shit, I think the list of dropped episodes is a lot larger than the list of episodes we even have.
yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
We apologize, but it gave us the time to think about the direction we want to go with this podcast, and we've decided to rebrand in a very small way. We noticed that we talk about sports the most. It takes up most of our time. That is indeed out of our favorite stuff. Our favorite thing is probably sports. So we decided to change the name of this podcast to Our Favorite Sport. Now you might be like, what does that mean? It means that we're going to be a sports dedicated podcast.
Yeah, sports.
That's what we're going to be. Whether it be baseball, NHL is probably going to be your main functions.
Yeah.
Because that is our favorite. But if there is a down week in both of those sports, we can branch out. We'll branch out to the what's going on in sports as total. Don't expect us to do like,
NBA coverage and NFL coverage.
Or what the score of the NBA game was last night. Like, don't expect that by any means. Yeah. But expect, major storylines, like major signings. For maybe
like championships, big signings.
Yeah. Yeah. LeBron James, he's the NBA. So anything going on with him. We'll keep you updated on that stuff. But for the most part, it's going to be an MLB, NHL breakdown kind of podcast from now on.
Yeah.
It's an easy rebrand because OFS changed its stuff to sports. We got our new logo coming very soon. So that's going to fit in with the rebrand too, kind of like a reimaging of the podcast. Mm-hmm. And we're going to keep up all our old stuff. It was there. We recorded it. We're not going to be starting like a new podcast. It's going to be, everything's going to be here on this channel or this podcast station or whatever you're watching on. And but we're just going to be focusing more on sports from now on. We feel that putting our eggs all in one basket is going to do better for our numbers. Not that we don't appreciate the 20 to 30 people that we're watching every week, but a little more would be nice. So that's the decision of this rebranding.
So if you guys are the sports fans, I mean, great for you guys. If you guys aren't the sports fans, yikes.
We'll appreciate you guys sticking around just for us.
Yeah. It'd be real generous of you.
Yeah, it would be. It would be the greatest gift of all. So with that out of the way, today we're going to be talking about a little, the month of November is a big thing for me and Robert. We didn't mention it on the podcast yet because we mentioned it on the last episode that never got posted.
True.
We're going to talk about baseball ending, because where is a better place to begin than the ending of something? We're going to be talking about the Dodgers championship, how that game kind of went down, what it's going to mean for them in the future. Then we got some new managers in the MLB. The Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers have named new managers. Big name managers, actually. And free agency's rolling around, so if we got some time, we're going to talk about the Blue Jays and what free agents they might attract, as Shapiro and Atkins have talked about having more money at their disposal.
Shapiro? What is Shapiro?
Shapiro.
I think tomato, I suppose.
Tomato. They have full interest and full dedication from Rogers Communications. The owners have told them that there's going to be enough of money available for whatever they want to do. So it might be a big year for the Blue Jays. First of all, we'll just get this out of the way. Movember is going to be happening in November like it does every year, COVID or not. It's going to be happening. Me and Robert have decided, I do it every year, the last 4 years probably, ever since I can really grow decent facial hair. And Robert's decided to join me this year. We're going to clean shave it all off,
You can't even see any of my facial hair on camera. It's actually great. I don't have to shave to go on the podcast.
I can see it. You got like a...
Oh, you can? The chin strap?
And strap. Yeah, you got. I can see the soul patch.
The soul patch and the
mustache. Hey, that's what matters, man. I'm glad you can grow a mustache because that's what matters.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Usually I download the app and I raise money, I raise money. We're going to be raising it as a podcast this year. It would have started on Saturday. Today is Friday, which is why we're still clean shaven. Saturday we shave, and you'll be listening to this episode on Monday. So yeah, our next episode you'll see the following week. We're going to be clean shaven. It's going to be weird to see me clean shaven.
Oh, it is.
I've not been the entire history of this pod. Actually, no, I was. I would have been last year, but we didn't have video at that time.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. So so we're gonna be raising money. So any donations would be great. I will post a link to our Movember page in the bottom of this channel, the YouTube channel, or in the description on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And it will be on all of our socials as well. So if you feel generous, whether it's $1, $5, $10, $1 million, doesn't matter. Just click on the link and donate whatever you got. It's a good to raise money. It's if you're not quite sure what Movember is, it is basically typical. Basically trying to help about men's health. So it's like originally a long time ago, it started on prostate cancer. Now they're focused on any sort of cancer to deal with men and men's health mentally as well. That's been a big deal over the last couple of years. So it's just to raise money and really target some of those issues that we deal with. So I think it's a great cause, which is why I participate every year. And I also think it's fun to shock people that haven't seen me without facial hair.
Yeah, it really is a shock.
I literally haven't cleanly shaven since last November. I just got my hair cut today for the first time since February.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's trimmed. You can't see it that well, but
oh, okay, yeah. It's because it's curly, so it curls up either way.
Yeah, 2 inches I got off. That's all I really. So not much.
Yeah, I've never. Well, I have, but my hair doesn't grow like yours. My hair grows up. Your hair grows down.
Down, thank God. I couldn't deal with an afro. So if you guys could just donate, and that would be great. Now on to the new topic of this podcast: it's sports. Hallelujah. That's all we talk about. So,
it's basically all we talk about anyway. We'll have like one video game episode or one movie episode once every like 17 episodes. But yeah, it usually boils down to baseball or hockey somehow. Even if an episode has nothing to do with it. It'll be an episode on like video games, and all of a sudden we're talking about the Blue Jays. Like, I don't even know, for 45 minutes, and it's like, how did this happen? So,
yeah.
It's kind of overdue.
Crazy.
I got the Blue Jays merch on.
Yo, so do I.
Sorry, so do you.
So do I.
That's good.
And That's Pirates.
Good. And the Pirates. Yeah. I only have Blue Jays stuff. I had a Blue Jays hat, but I don't know where it is.
On when was it? When did the Dodgers win? Today is Friday. That would have been Tuesday. Tuesday they would have won. The Dodgers defeated the Rays in 6 games. Crazy end of the season. I mean, it was only fitting. So the Dodgers and the Rays were the 2 best teams in baseball record-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Not every year that's the way it works that they meet in the championship, but this year it was. This year the Dodgers and the Rays, the 2 best teams in baseball. I found it a fitting storyline. The Dodgers, the year they found out the Astros cheated them from a championship, they end up back there in the same spot. The Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays, such a good storyline. You know, a lot of people slept on them, I think. I think a lot of people weren't thinking that they could do it.
Well, I thought
because everyone
steamrolled them.
1,000%. But hey, like they're pitching. The Rays pitching is unreal.
So when they take Blake Snell in the 6th inning, but
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about some of the storylines from this game.
I don't know why that happened. I don't know why they...
Interesting managerial decision.
It's just...
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I don't even know.
So you know what? Let's start there. Honestly, it took the game by storm. It was exciting to see the Dodgers win. Like, it was awesome. Like, I was cheering for both teams. I didn't care.
Yeah,
I didn't care who won this World Series. I wanted like either of them to. I was good. The Dodgers, it's their first championship. That's a long time. The Rays have never won one, so that would have been even more exciting. But 88 is a long.
Not even one time actually. Yeah.
That's a long playoff drought.
Mm-hmm.
But another big storyline, like Kershaw got his ring. Thank God, man.
Yeah.
Thank God Kershaw got it. Everyone, the storyline going into these playoffs was Kershaw can't pitch in the playoffs. Kershaw's never going to get a ring. You know, like, is that going to affect his Hall of Fame standings?
But to be honest, he did earn himself the reputation of choking in the playoffs. He did. Does not go unwarranted.
He did.
He really
he did.
But this year he was insane in the playoffs.
Yeah, 2-something ERA.
Yeah.
He ended up passing Lander. He has the almost now in the playoffs.
Yeah, his whip was really low. Just great stats.
Yeah, fantastic. 2-0 in the World Series.
That's so too twice. Makes sense, actually. What game did it go to?
What'd you say, sorry?
What game did it go to?
6 games. He pitched in the first and fifth.
So the rotation through.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, they got, I think they did Kershaw, Bueller, a bullpen day. And who else pitched for the... I think Urias went for game... I think Urias, who ended up finishing off the series, went game 4, I think. Either way, yeah, Kershaw did amazing.
Yeah.
Corey Seager won World Series MVP.
He's getting an MLB show card for that, I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, he will be, yeah.
Cool.
He also got a truck. I find it crazy, man, that they give MLB players that make millions of dollars, like, congratulations, and here's a car. It's like, what?
What do they need it for? They're probably just gonna sell it or some shit. Like, they don't need it. They're all driving like Bugattis and stuff, man.
They
don't need what car even is it? They always give away some like
Chevy. It was the brand new Chevrolet Colorado or
they always give away like
Silverado. Yeah, it's a truck. It's the brand new 2021.
I don't know if players drive those. Do they drive like
he might
using trucks and shit?
Why not? Some of them got kids, man.
Yeah, that's true. If I was a kid, right? I'd rather be in the top of the Bugatti than the Silverado. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, try getting the freaking car seat in the back of a Bugatti. I don't even think the Bugatti's got back seats, bro. I think it's just
like your kid, like spaghetti or something in the back seat of your Bugatti. Yeah, maybe it's a good idea. You got the Silverado. Actually, does he have kids?
I don't know. Seeger's pretty young. I don't think so. I know Kershaw does.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, he's got one little boy or girl. I don't know. He's got one little kid.
One little something.
But yeah, it was great. Those were great storylines. But yeah, let's start with Snell being pulled.
Snell
was dealing. I looked at I see Randy Arozarena go deep in the first inning. What a story he was
in the playoffs. If the Rays won it, he was World Series MVP.
And was good. He's probably gonna get a fat contract, bro. Like what was that? Like.
Didn't he? He had the record for most home runs in the playoffs.
16. Yeah, 16 home runs.
Wasn't the old record like? What was it, like 11 or
14 or 13?
Oh, really? Oh.
He didn't pass it by much, but he
passed it, which is
the most hits in a postseason.
Mm-hmm. And he's not even a huge name.
He's a nobody, man. He was a nobody.
I literally never heard of him in my whole life until this playoff. So I'm flashing on this USB. It's fun. You gave me those. Look at that. Sorry. I'm just saying, I'm playing around with it the whole podcast. I'm flinging it around.
ADD.
But it's because I'm flinging it around. I'm like, I'm talking and I'm like, I don't know. Something. Sponsored. Wait.
Yeah, Blake Snell, Randy Rose. Can you stop? We're trying to talk about sports here.
By Sundisk.
What's going on with you? Sundisk, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Put it down.
Yeah, but Randy Arozarena and Blake Snell and Charlie Wharton kind of dragged the Rays kicking and screaming to the finals because they were talking about like swing and miss and like averages and runners in scoring position. The Rays sucked.
Were they
like a lot a lot of the commentators, especially Matt Vasgersian, he's like, I don't know how the Rays got here. Like the numbers baffled, and like analytics experts and stuff, because they're like, how did they? Because the numbers weren't pretty. They weren't terrible. Like they wouldn't have been last in the league or anything. But for a playoff team to make it to the World Series, you're like, they had to run through the Yankees in that and the Astros. It's like, it's like, how'd you get here?
Yeah,
you know, it was crazy.
It is surprising.
Their strikeouts were the same. Their strikeouts were high. But
it's weird, yeah.
So Randy Rosarena goes deep in the first, and I keep checking. It's 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 all the way to the fifth because I wasn't able to watch it. I was busy. I watched the ending. Like I watched the seventh inning on, right after the Dodgers took the lead, and I'm like, man, Snell's dealing. He ended the night with 9 strikeouts. He goes into the sixth, 9 strikeouts. Okay.
In the sixth, 9 strikeouts. Holy shit.
Yeah, he gets a pop out. Easy peasy. His pitch count's only at 70-something when he lets up the hit to Barnes.
Yeah, wait. That's a good number.
Yeah, you have another 1 or 2 wins. Also, it's the World Series, Game 6. He's not pitching again.
You can have him go 100 pitches.
Run him till his arm falls off.
Yeah, literally. He's not pitching for the rest of the year. Yeah.
Austin Barnes' single was the second hit he let up all night, and they pulled
6 innings. That's really good. That's a whip of like point
sub 1.
Yeah, it's way sub 1. Way sub 1.
And Mookie Betts, their best hitter, comes up, and they decide to pull him. Now Kevin Cash has defended his decisions by saying he's a big fan of third time through the lineup. The more a lineup sees a pitcher, the better they will do. And while defending sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, but it's like Blake Snell's a really good pitcher. We know this. So maybe if some pitcher, like some like nobody pitcher, is getting really lucky and smashing through a lineup, then you can assume, okay, his luck's going to run out. Third time through the lineup, they're going to catch on to him and get him through. But you know Blake Snell is Blake Snell. He can, if he's doing good, he can keep doing good. Everyone knows this.
Yeah. And it's arguably, if you look at the numbers, that was the best start of the whole postseason he was having.
Did he not start in one of the earlier games?
He would have started game 2.
Yeah, so they would have already have seen him like before as well. So it's not like he's like psyching, like he's not like it's like new.
Yeah, but you know with pitchers that every night they bring something different. Either they have or they don't, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they use different pitches. Sometimes they use different repetition from last time. You know, so like third time through the order that night, the big thing. Because now you've seen exactly what he has. This is the third time. We've already seen it twice. Now, a big shout out to John Boy Media. And I was showing you this guy, and I watched his video breakdown of this. Big shout out because he brought a lot of numbers to this. So like I said, Kevin Cash has defended his decision on any analytics, saying that third time through the order, batters are better. So John Boy did a deep dive. Okay, he said, all right, if you want to do analytics, he's like, let's see it. Mookie Betts gets worse as he goes on in the game by analytics this year and last year.
I've seen that in person. Remember that game? I had to pick USB again. I didn't even remember picking this up. I really don't. I saw it in the little thing on me, and I'm like, what the fuck? How did I get this? But I remember that game when that rookie pitcher was starting, TJ something, and Mookie Betts went yard number like first pitch of the game, brought him deep, and I'm like, I was there. And I'm like, all right, well, let's just go home. Beat the traffic, I guess. First pitch. Was it first pitch?
Yeah. First pitch fastball. Mookie takes him deep off of the foul ball.
Oh, shit, man. But yeah, so it doesn't surprise me, actually.
But yeah, Mookie's average and OPS, according to John Boy, goes down as he goes on. This year and last year, as a member of a Red Sox as well.
Huh.
And he said, okay. He's like, let's look at righty versus lefty. Mookie does worse this year and last year against left-handed hitters. His average and OPS goes down, or left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, especially, I feel like the lefty-righty thing is a bit overblown. Because, for pulling out, like, a really good pitcher for, like, a mediocre pitcher for the matchup seems questionable to me.
Yeah, so, and then he said if you look at Blake Snell versus Mookie Betts. He's like, okay, let's look at that. Blake Snell's held him for 0 for 6 in the series, or 0 for 5 already.
Shutting him down, yeah, I thought.
Yeah, with like 2 strikeouts.
Oh, yeah.
And he's already got a strikeout in that game. He already struck out Mookie once. So why you don't let him see him for a third time, I don't know. He's like Mookie's game plan against Snell hasn't worked.
Yeah, it's not like he's hot or anything either. Like he's shitting the bed. Should be a free out based on the numbers.
Yeah, and so John Boyce said if you want to look at analytics, they don't support it. And then he pulled up Nick Anderson's numbers, and I double checked these because I didn't think it was right. Nick Anderson has let up a run his last 5 postseason appearances he's made this postseason.
Ooh, yeah. See, plus like Blake Snell for that guy for the lefty righty matchup.
Terrible.
It's just
Nick Anderson was great during the regular season, but it's been garbage. You're telling me you pulled Blake Snell to bring in Nick Anderson to defend your one-run lead in the World Series?
Yeah.
You gotta be shitting me, man.
It's just I couldn't think like a 9-year-old wouldn't do that in his franchise mode on MLB The Show. Like,
well, here's the thing, okay? The problem with modern day baseball, and I'm gonna sound super fucking old here, okay, people? I'm only 22. Okay. The thing about modern day baseball is pitchers don't go long anymore, dude.
No, they
don't. Managers will study the shit out of pitch count. They'll study the shit about the order, and they study like so much about like numbers and everything that they don't pay attention to what's going on the mound. Yeah. They're so busy studying the book that they have thrown the eye test out the window.
Yeah, it's weird. You gotta find a good mix between numbers and not numbers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to call it, but like just seeing what's happening and calling it off.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love analytics. I think numbers are great.
I love numbers. I love the math stuff.
I think sometimes numbers tell you a little more about a player.
Of course.
But that's when you're deciding between a good player and another good player. Okay, who's better by analytics? Mm-hmm. If the guy's shit, or if the guy's going good, why do you throw your eye test at the window? Like, your brain have a gut feeling.
It's not even like his pitch count was high though. 70 pitches after 6 innings is fine. Especially when it's the last time he's going to pitch the whole year. You can have him go 110 pitches for all I fucking care. Like,
the next pitch, he could have got to hit a ball on the ground, roll a double play. You're done. He's out of the inning. Yeah,
and he could pitch the next inning. He could pitch the 7th too, if he's doing that well.
1,000%.
And then put in a setup guy, put in the closer, and you're done.
And then you're facing a do or die game 7.
Mm-hmm. And then you pull him in the 6th on a 70 pitch count. Well, he's not going to pitch again for the whole year. It's just for the lefty righty matchup. For fuck's sake.
I didn't even think it was a lefty right. I think he was more focused listening to his press conference.
Just for
he was focused on third time
bullshit analytics that aren't even right.
Yeah, he was wrong.
They're not even right numbers.
Did he read the wrong book?
I don't know, bro.
If I was Blake Snell, I'd be pissed, and he was. If you watch the clip of him being taken out of the game, he looked pissed. He was mad.
I don't understand. I just cannot comprehend the idea of pulling him in the 6th inning.
Like, if I was Snell, I would have been like, no. Like, you gotta give me a chance here. And we see this out of his opposing starting pitcher, Kershaw, all the time. Kershaw will let his manager know when he's ready to come out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can argue differently that Snell isn't Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw's a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, or a 3-time All-Star, Cy Young Award winner, multiple records, future Hall of Famer by far, especially with the World Series ring now. But come on, man.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad.
And
think about how different the World Series would have been.
It could have been completely different. The Rays could have won. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Honestly, I mean, you do have Walker Buehler going next game for the Dodgers. So that doesn't look so good. Like, Walker Buehler's been pretty good this postseason as well.
Mm-hmm.
But still, give yourself a chance.
In one baseball game, anything can happen.
anything. The possibilities are endless.
It literally, like,
Endless.
just
Like,
put him in the sixth. Like, I just, that
and,
is so
and
stupid.
I'm just so sick. I'm so sick of new era baseball where pitchers can't pitch past this inning, or you have a game plan. Okay, Snell's getting pulled in the sixth tonight, and then he pitches like literally like the world depends on it. And it's the best performance I've ever seen by Blake Snell. And you go, yeah, no, he's done. Pick another game plan.
He must have been nervous. He must have been nervous with this third inning thing that he thought, and must have thought he doesn't want to push his luck any further. You know what I mean? It's like when you remember that radio show where like you open the bank or whatever and you keep going until you
Yeah,
bust.
yeah.
He was playing that
Yeah.
in his head with each inning, and I guess he didn't want to go bust, and he figured after that hit, then he's like, okay, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to put in a reliable guy, have him secure
But
2
he hasn't
innings.
been reliable.
That tell to him, dude. He must have just thought he was pushing his luck or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Terrible.
think
decision.
about it. Okay? Even if you're thinking about like, even if you're thinking about Kevin Cash, say you're Kevin Cash for a second, okay? You're sitting there, you watch Blake Snell give up that hit. You're
It's
sitting
one
there,
hit
okay?
or 2 hits in 6 innings too, though. Like, fun.
You're sitting there and you think, hey, top of the order's coming up. The tying runs on base. Yeah, the top of the order means you're facing Mookie Betts and Corey Seager, 2 of the hottest hitters in the whole entire playoffs, let alone the World Series. I get that. Yes, they've seen, like, I can see where he's sitting there like, oh, I might be getting a little nervous here. And you're probably worried about your job because you're like, if I leave this guy in and he gets lit up by Mookie and Seager, like, I could be seen as like the worst manager in the world.
But the thing
Upper
is,
office is going to hate me.
it was just a single, right?
Yeah, with
So
one
if
out.
Mookie gets on base, unless Mookie goes yard, which is it's always a risk, but you know what I mean? It's just something you got to deal with. It's a risk you got to deal with. If Mookie gets up, a single or a double or something, then you can pull Snell. You know what I mean? I just don't think pulling after, like, especially when he's doing so good against Mookie Betts, has him 0 for 5 or 6 or whatever. Like,
another stat that John Boy picked up is that Mookie Betts loves the fastball. He loves to hit off the fastball. He does okay on curveballs and other stuff, but fastball is what he hits. And then he's like, let's look at Nick Anderson's numbers. Oh, he throws 68% fastball. Exactly what Mookie Betts feasts on. So even after he pulled up that number,
doesn't every pitcher throw that much fastball though?
68%. He only throws 2 pitches, bro. He throws 68 to 70% fastballs, and the rest are curveballs.
What does Blake Snell throw most of the time?
He throws his fastball's got a little more movement, so I don't know if it's classified as a 2-seamer, but he's got a curve and a change as well, and he throws a pretty good mix.
Huh? Okay, I thought fastballs were the most used by a good bit.
Yes and no. I mean, a lot. There's a lot of pitchers that will throw less than 60% coming out of the bullpen. It might have even been 70%. I know it was high. It was a high percentage of.
Oh yeah, I guess coming out of the pen, actually, you can afford to throw more of that off speed.
Yeah, exactly. Usually out of the pen, you want a guy with a good hook, a good off speed pitch.
So the starters have to use their fastball so they don't ruin themselves because they're pitching 6 or 7 innings.
Yeah, it's to keep their pitch count down, right? You throw some fastballs, get some strikes early. You're told as a starter to pound the zone with fastballs.
Yeah.
Let them hit it early. Yeah, but either way, like, it didn't look like a good matchup, man. It didn't.
No.
It didn't look good at all.
Not even a little bit.
And I think that move could have put him on. I think that's the kind of move that you're like, yikes.
Yeah.
Like, I think of a move that got I can't remember the name of the Orioles manager. It's escaping me right now. But they didn't use Zach Britton when he was a member of the Orioles and not the Yankees against us in the wild card game against the Blue Jays. They decided to go with Ubaldo Jimenez. And in the 10th inning, Ubaldo Jimenez's first pitch of the game, a curveball that Edwin put into the second deck and walked it off, and the Blue Jays went to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. That was, yeah, I think I remember that one.
And I think a couple months later, the Orioles manager lost his job. They fired him. Because what were you thinking? Ubaldo Jimenez, a failed starter, or your all-star closer? that throws ridiculous sinkers.
It's just
moves that you're like, do you realize you're not playing? You could not be playing tomorrow. It's like, do you understand that it's not about saving your bullpen?
It's such easy calls. Though. You or me, in that if we are, making that call for the Rays, we're not pulling Blake Snell any day of the week. We are never.
We were raised on old school thinking, right? Or at least I was old school baseball thinking. If your pitcher's dealing,
I was raised on common sense. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. He has 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, 2 hits, and you're like, no, let's put in this fucking random definition of mediocre fucking.
Nick Anderson's not mediocre. He had a great season, but in the playoffs, he's been mediocre.
But he's not Blake Snell, man.
No. And so, if you guys didn't watch the game, Mookie gets on. I can't remember. I think he hits a single. Yeah, he hits a single. I think Barnes goes to third. That's exactly what happened. Or no, a double? Yeah, a double. Mookie hits a double. Okay. Next batter, Nick Anderson throws a wild pitch. Austin Barnes scores. High game. And then a ball line to first. Mookie Betts is fast. If you guys haven't been paying attention, he stole 5 bases this series.
Yeah.
He beats the throw home even on the infield being in, and you got yourself a Dodgers lead.
The thing is that wait, what the fuck? I was gonna say something. Holy shit, my brain is falling apart. Oh yeah, I forgot the reliever's name. I'm terrible with names. Especially relievers. I will never know a reliever's name as long as I live. They're not a closer.
Describe it to me. I'll help you.
No, the reliever that got put in for Blake Snell.
Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson. Do you think he even want to be put in?
I wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want to be if the starters go away 9 strikeouts into the 6th with 2 hits. I'm like, why are you putting me in, dude? Put me in when shit gets bad. I'll keep the situation.
Then again, most relievers want the ball in that situation. You got a chance to save the World Series, keep your team ahead. Most pitchers want that.
Yeah, but God, man,
it's a nuts decision, man. It's a decision I'll never. So I don't know what's in store for Blake Snell or Kevin Cash. Blake Snell's gonna want it at Tampa after that move.
Yeah. Honestly, though, there's a chance. I'd be so pissed.
And I don't think I was talking to Daniel about this, our buddy Daniel, and he said Kevin Cash is gonna get fired. I don't think the Tampa Bay Rays are gonna make that drastic a move. Fire a manager for going to the World Series.
It's more justifiable than the Orioles one.
Yeah,
way more justifiable. There's very faulty, but some reasoning there, and he's not a bad
manager.
Not a bad manager. So yeah, I wouldn't fire him.
I mean, he brought this team to a World Series that they haven't been to since 2008.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they lost, I think they only won 1 game in that one. I think they lost in 5 games in the Phillies.
I guess the pressure must have just gotten to him or something.
I don't know. Like I said, I think he just looked at third time through the order, said, "Yep, that's it." There's a guy on base. I think personally, if he gets Austin Barnes there with 2 out, I think he lets him face Mookie Betts. I can almost guarantee it that with 2 outs, he lets him face Mookie Betts. Because the chance of Mookie Betts going yard are slim. He's a great hitter, but off Blake Snell is slim. And then if Mookie Betts gets on base, then I bet you he still pulls Snell. I bet you he still pulls him if Mookie Betts gets on base there to face Corey Seager. But then again, Corey Seager's a lefty, so do you think he would have left him in for the lefty-lefty matchup? Even though you're looking at your second batter now?
Not if he's off this third through the lineup philosophy. I guess he was trying to stick to his principles. And just in his head, he's like, if I stick to my principles and I do what is sound, it'll be okay. And yeah, he wasn't paying attention to the actual situation.
It's one of those situations where manager, he threw the eye test out. And me personally, it's easy for us to say we're not MLB managers, but to me, you can't do that. Those are decisions that lose your job. You lose yourself your job.
Yeah.
And I guess time will tell what they do with Kevin Cash.
Bro, I would kill to be an MLB manager though. I'd be
That's what I dream
so.
of. I don't even dream of playing anymore, bro. I just dream of being a manager.
I don't even. I'd rather be a manager than play. I'm such a control freak, man. I know I don't come across of it,
especially with sports.
But I am. I want to like. And plus, it's fun. I feel like it's more fun. Playing's fun. I love playing the sport. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I love the aspect of like the trades and the signings, and I also love the money aspect too, like the salaries and all that.
Yep.
It's really good. Those are like two of my favorite aspects.
1,000%.
Managing everything, like it just lineups. But you don't do lineups, do you? Just coach does the. No,
yeah, coach does lineups. Yeah.
Yeah.
GM does the trades and the signings and the money.
GM does trade.
The manager just worries about who they got to put on the field, essentially.
Yeah. I'd do either one of those. I wouldn't complain.
One more storyline before we move on to the new managers and Blue Jays. Trey Turner. Not Trey Turner. Trey Turner? No, not Trey Turner. He's a shortstop for the Nationals. Justin Turner. There we go.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? Wrong Turner.
Fucking has COVID-19.
Oh, I saw that.
In the middle of the game. He was pulled in the middle of a World Series winning game because a positive test came back for COVID-19.
During the game, you got the positive test?
Yeah. His test was inconclusive. I mean, they're kept in a bubble, so when it's inconclusive, it got fucked up. You'd think chances are it's negative.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So they let him play while waiting for the second test. The second test they took, they let him play. In the sixth inning, they pulled him. Seventh inning. They yanked him out of the game. He was told he was positive. The MLB found out he was positive, called the Dodgers, said get him out of the game.
Dude, you remember how the other players must have felt? Like, especially on the Dodgers?
Justin Turner.
Tampa Bay. No, what team does he play for? I forgot.
The Dodgers. He's third base.
Fuck. I was thinking...
Bryce Robert.
I don't know these teams. I don't know Tampa Bay and Dodgers that well. I never thought I'd see this matchup in the World Series. It's the Dodgers, not Tampa Bay. I'm actually on crack. Why would I think of Tampa Bay?
I don't know, bro.
Now that I think of it in hindsight, I knew that. I'm just brain damaged.
So he gets pulled, and then he's seen on the field celebrating with his team, holding the trophy. I hope this man is fined. I hope he's suspended. People are saying it's not a big deal. He's in the bubble anyways. Chances are they all have it. No, that's not the chances. That's not how you conduct things. You know how bad that
looks? Were teammates okay with it?
You know how bad that looks on the MLB? You know how bad that looks on the Dodgers organization?
Yeah, definitely.
They're like, well, he was wearing a mask. Bro, he held the trophy. Everyone that holds the trophy after him, like, you better sanitize that bitch.
Oh, wait. He was wearing a mask? Oh.
Yeah, but come on, man. Like,
yeah.
The MLB said they're investigating it. They're saying they understand his need to celebrate, but don't condone it at all, and they will investigate the situation. The early stories...
It does suck for him, though.
Because
you just won the World Series. You want to go hold the trophy so bad.
Yeah,
so
but
bad.
wait for it to come to you.
But still, like...
Bro, he's got COVID. It's a potential killing.
I just feel bad for him. I'm not saying we did it right, but I just feel bad.
I felt bad for him too until he.
If that was me, man, I don't know if I'd be able to stop myself.
I felt bad for him too until he did something stupid, endangering the rest of his team.
If I'm gonna be honest though, if it was me, I don't know what I'd do.
Wait for it to come. If
I'm gonna be honest, like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm gonna be super noble about it. There's a chance.
This is the flu or the cold. It's cold.
I know, but like in the moment, like I couldn't imagine how excited he must have been.
Yeah, but how would he feel? Okay, how would he feel if his best friend on the team got COVID and died?
Well, yeah, he probably regretted it after the fact.
I hope so.
He probably did. I couldn't see how he couldn't. He probably went that was a shitty decision. But in the time, he probably just got like such a rush of like emotion.
Well, he was leaving quarantine. They quarantined him in a room in the back.
Mm.
To they gave him a TV, and obviously, like, it's a stadium. They have TVs and shit to watch it. And then he left, and the security guards told him no, and he ignored them.
Oh, shit. Wait, maybe that is shitty then, actually.
The security guards were meant to keep him there. Or maybe not meant to keep him there, but maybe they're just security guards watching the tunnel because it's a World Series game, and there was fans in attendance.
There were fans in attendance?
Yeah, there was fans in attendance the whole series. Half capacity.
And like what, like a couple seats apart?
Yeah. They were like in blocks. If you could see that they were like in blocks of.
Okay, that makes sense. If they could do movie theaters that way, they could probably do a baseball game that way.
I mean, it's still not great, but
it's the World Series.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. Yeah, security was there. They told him to stay, and he refused. And
honestly, being security must suck for that though. Like, what are you gonna do? Go up to him and I don't want to touch him.
Yeah, I don't want to touch him either.
I don't want to be within 6 feet of the guy.
That's probably why he ended up on the field.
Like, be my guest, dude.
So yeah, we'll watch that with a careful eye. And if there's any updates, you can rely on us to probably have them because I watch sports and Instagram and Twitter like it's my job. And I wish it was some days. But enough about the World Series. Congratulations, season's over. Hopefully next season is COVID free and we can have a normal fucking season. Dear God, this was hard to watch this year.
You know what I've thought about though? Yeah, I would not like to be like a security guard or like some sort of like cop or something where you have to like take a guy down, but it's during a pandemic, so you're like, here we go, and then you're like tackling the guy, and you're like holding your breath.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have COVID.
And, yeah.
I think most of them wear gloves now.
But still, it's they're breathing and stuff on you.
Yeah. So there were a couple of new managers hired today in the MLB. Today and yesterday.
I thought the Red Sox won.
The White Sox?
Wait, no.
White Sox.
Was there a guy who was previously on the Reds? Who was previous before the Red Sox got signed?
No. He was original. So Tony La Russa might be the guy I think of. He managed the Cardinals most recently. In 2012, I think was the last time he managed. And he could have been. Tony La Russa's a Hall of Fame manager.
I must have been on some crack or something.
Tony La Russa's a Hall of Fame manager, Robert. So he's been everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
Yeah.
He's old as dirt. Okay. But he's also managed the White Sox previously in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Yep, Hall of Fame manager.
Oh, it's because I saw this with the Sox.
Oh, that's why, yeah. Yep. So it kind of fucked you up.
It did fuck me up. Glad he's a bit too old for me, I guess. I've been around since the 70s. Shit. I'm also not very good at the management stuff, I'll be honest.
So Tony La Russa, he won a World Series with the Oakland Athletics and 2 more with the Cardinals. White Sox fired him 34 years ago. Doesn't matter. He's back.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a long time.
A lot changes in 34 years.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where he began managing.
And then now he's back, yeah.
And won 2, like I said, 3 World Series, 2 with the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think that's the good direction. Now, here's the guy. We want to talk about new analytics and old analytics, or new versus old managing. He's probably going to take an old school approach, but I bet you he's not closed-minded. He might be what we're talking about when we say man in the middle.
Oh.
He might listen to new analytics.
Yeah.
But if you want to
I don't think there's any room for growth if you're closed-minded in sports when it comes to stuff.
And that's also why I think John Gibbons doesn't have a job anymore. I think John Gibbons was closed-minded, and I think that's why Charlie Montoya is the manager of the Jays and not John Gibbons.
Yeah, it's just you just eventually die out. You don't last like 30 plus years managing if you don't adapt.
No. And I think Tony La Russa is going to also do old stuff. Like maybe we're gonna see a pitcher pitch more than 7 innings for once.
Mm-hmm.
Dear God, I don't even know. I think the number of complete games has been like halved in the last.
And the
years.
reason is just
like,
they're so worried about injury.
I get that.
And pitchers
man,
pitch so much harder than they used to.
I get that.
Like starting pitchers that pitch like 95 plus is way more common nowadays than it's ever been.
Yeah, but like.
But no, I agree. I think every so often complete games.
Carry a bullpen of like. You shouldn't have to carry a bullpen of 13 guys because none of your starters can pitch more than 5 innings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like that's incredible. But yeah, there's a guy that I think is going to be great for the White Sox because they're starting to up and come, and I think he's got a good mannerism about him, always has, and I think he's going to do just great. The White Sox. Now, on to the next hiring, the Detroit Tigers named A.J. Hinch as their manager. If you're like, hey, where have I heard that name before? He was the former manager of the Astros and was fired because of their cheating scandal. I didn't think he would get a job again.
No, you wouldn't think so.
Especially not a year later.
Yeah.
He said it one season, and now he's got a new job with the Tigers.
If all the players that took part are playing just fine, then why can't the manager do it too?
I don't know. I agree. I didn't think that anybody would be like, this is a good idea. I didn't think anybody would do that. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
I didn't expect anybody to actually do that. But I don't know. We'll see how that works out. It's going to take some cheating for the Tigers to be good. I can tell you that.
True.
They're not getting any better anytime soon.
Really? Who do they have that's notable?
Miggy's a declining asset.
Yeah. Miggy seems much better days.
I think he should retire as a Tiger. But he can't stay healthy right now. When he is healthy, he's still good.
Yeah.
He's still a producer, don't get me wrong.
Just old.
Jose Abreu can. Oh no, sorry, I'm starting to think of the White Sox again. They got Jonathan Scope, I think, still.
Scope? I thought Scope was an Oriole.
He was an Oriole.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Nico Goodrum is kind of good. They got some pitching guys like Daniel Norris.
But no superstars.
No, I wouldn't say they got any superstars.
No.
So
they gotta have mediocre teams.
I mean, AJ Hinch coached the Astros through their like up and coming. Like he dealt with young players. Like he dealt with like Altuve as a young guy and Carrera as a young guy. And that so maybe they're thinking maybe he's good with young people. Like maybe he's a good manager to build up. That's the reason why the Jays also chose Charlie Montoyo because they feel like he's good at dealing with young guys, like good at developing young players. Maybe they think AJ Hinch is a good impression on, younger players, and maybe they're going to.
He did make the Astros good before they started cheating.
Yeah, maybe they're going to start their full rebuild. Like maybe we'll see a lot of guys leave.
I still don't get why the Astros would start cheating because they were good without it. So why risk that?
I don't know. That's a bigger story than I can even comprehend.
Yeah, it just seems illogical. You have a chance to win series normally because your team's actually players, and then
you throw it away.
Weird. It was weird.
Yep, super weird. But yeah, so AJ Hinch will be an interesting story to watch. Yeah,
the Tigers are doing good though. Get an investigation started. They say get hot all of a sudden. I mean. The
one thing I'd be worried about as a management core, I'd be worried about how my players are going to receive AJ Hinch.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You think that I would hope that the GM of the Tigers, I would hope he had a conversation with maybe some of your important players to be like, hey, we're thinking of bringing AJ on, or maybe like have a meeting, like introduce AJ before you announce the signing, like have him talk to the player, because I'd be really worried about players not wanting to play for him.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, to be honest, if I was a player.
I'd
be pretty unhappy.
I would hope that. I mean, now the Astros didn't cheat the Tigers out of any win. I can assure you that.
But still, they kind of, it's an insult to the whole league.
Yes,
Every
Yeah.
team that played the game legit and didn't get anywhere is going to be incredibly insulted by the Astros cheating
Especially
themselves in the
like
World Series.
a good example of that, it was Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly wasn't on the Dodgers when they got cheated in 2017. He
Mm-hmm.
still had a major problem with Carlos Guerrero.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone has a right to hate them, and
I definitely have a couple of choice words for him when I got to talk
yeah,
to him as a player.
1,000%.
You're a piece of shit.
So so AJ, I mean, I would expect the GM and ownership of the Tigers to think this one through.
Yeah.
You would expect that, right, from a
They
major
probably
league
did
franchise,
ask. They probably got the okay from the players.
or at least the important ones.
Yeah, at least the important one.
Miggy, I'd be so worried about pissing Miggy off.
Yeah, that's a big one.
A star player, right? Even if he is declining, he's still your number one guy.
Yeah, he's definitely the number one.
Yeah, so I'd be worried about making him happy and making sure that he'll play for Hinch and he'll get along with Hinch and even the up and coming guys, because like even if they're in AAA for the last couple of years and they're up and coming, doesn't mean they don't know what's going on. Doesn't mean they don't know who AJ Hinch is.
But obviously, if we do, they do. Like,
yeah, so you got to make sure that they're okay with starting their career under AJ Hinch.
yeah.
And there's a lot of factors to hiring a guy like AJ Hinch now, which is crazy because before we would have thought he was a great manager, and now I still think he is a great manager, but with
Just
a bit of
a bad decision.
yeah. So that will be interesting. I think that was more interesting than. It's so funny because Tony La Russa hasn't managed in like 6 years or 8 years, and I found the AJ Hinch signing more interesting.
Oh, me too. I find it more interesting. I'm just curious to see how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I'll be interested. We'll have to watch the Tigers with a magnifying glass next year.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, real quick before we go, I'm gonna read off some free agents and some possible, because I went to Sport Clips for this haircut today. They have a bunch of TVs, sports TVs.
Oh, that's why we went to get my haircut.
Yeah, that's where I like to watch sports. And I was watching Sportsnet for the first time in I don't know how long. Like Sportsnet Central. While I was getting my haircut. Now, I knew about some other free agents that were already on the market, but there's also a trade that they were talking about today that the Jays could pursue. So I'm going to throw out 2 free agent names, and you tell me if you could think they're a good fit for the Blue Jays, okay? One free agent name that everyone's talking about, Trevor Bauer. Now, Trevor Bauer is a pitcher for the Reds right now. Well, I guess not anymore. He made his good years as an Indian. He's got a bit of an attitude. Trevor Bauer is very outspoken pitcher on Twitter. He's got a very outspoken way about him on the field. But dear God, can this guy pitch? And he's confident. He's kind of like he's maybe not quite as confident as Marcus Stroman is, but he's got to be up there.
Marcus Stroman is very confident.
He's got to be up there. He had the famous cleats with the trash cans on that he was going to wear against the Astros. He's been seen once this year doing the Conor McGregor walk off the field, like the arm swing.
Yeah.
And he's pure energy. And I see a lot of people saying like he's bad for a clubhouse, and you don't want to disrupt the feeling that they got going on that clubhouse. You don't want to get in there.
Because the Blue Jays, the way that I feel like their attitude is a lot, not that like showboaty.
Yeah, but I think Trevor Bauer is doing this because he's Trevor Bauer. I think it's all a show.
No, I'm just saying though. It's weird because just the rest of the Blue Jays aren't like that. The Blue Jays aren't like that. Any of the players we have right now, they're very, I don't know, like upright and proper.
Yeah, but I think if they can talk to Trevor Bauer and be like, hey, you want to just tone it down just tiny bit. But he could also be a guy that brings fun to the club. I think he'd be a fun presence.
And we are due pitching.
Upbeat presence.
We
do need starting pitching. And to give you an idea,
and we have like unlimited money actually.
Well, not unlimited money, but Rogers has supported Ross Atkins and Shapiro's decisions. Trevor Bauer, just a little, if people don't exactly know about him, 75-64 career record, ERA 3.9,
That's a good question. That's all right.
And he has his whip. Let's see, his whip 1.27 is
Oh,
his
so
career whip.
he's all right.
But last year, the last couple of years the last couple of years of Cincinnati is what everyone got talking about. Okay, last
Mhm.
year he went 5-4, limited season, obviously, with a 1.7 ERA.
That's good.
That's 11 games. He struck out 100 batters in 11 games.
I was like 10 a game, almost. But more like 8 or 9, but still, that's
Yep,
impressive.
with a whip of 0.79.
That's really okay. That's a fantastic year with that ERA and
Yeah,
that whip. That's a fantastic year.
the year before, okay,
Mm-hmm.
he got lit up.
Did he?
Injury. Oh no, sorry. He split that year. Why don't they just give me the total numbers? I thought he got lit up, and I'm like, as soon as I said he got lit up, I also in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't remember him being lit up. I'm like, I thought he was good that year. So with Cleveland Indians, he went 9-8 with a
Okay.
3.7 ERA.
That's all right.
With
I'm
a
sure for that 3.5 line. I don't know.
with a 1.2 whip.
That's all right. That's about how good he is.
And
That's about his
he struck out 185. He's got strikeout stuff. And then he went to the Reds and didn't do so well. But this year with the Reds, like, it's not an anomaly. Like, he's had other years where he's been fantastic. Like, it's not like last year and everyone's like, oh, he's the best pitching. Like,
Yeah,
he's
and
not
it's
the
not like
second
his
place,
career
right?
numbers aren't that bad. His ERA is a bit rough, and his whip's all right, but his ERA is a bit rough. But I don't
But
know.
here's the thing, Robert. Here's the thing. He's already pitched over 1,000 innings in the MLB. Okay? If I'm reading that right. Yeah. Over 1,000 innings in the MLB. He's only 29. He's got room to grow still. I think he's got a couple more years in his prime. And if his prime looks like what he did last year, dear God, watch out.
Yeah. If he keeps what
Like
he did last year,
they haven't announced it yet, but I guarantee you that he's got to be in top 3, or I think he might even win the National League Cy Young.
you think so?
Like, that's 1.7, Robert.
Oh
With a
yeah, if he keep, yeah.
0.79 whip.
Those
Like,
numbers are really good.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the Blue Jays are looking at that as a pitching option. I think it'll be great to have him as a number 2 behind Ryu. Imagine you Ryu than him.
It's been pretty good. Yeah.
Another free agent the Jays are looking at, and this might come as a surprise. Maybe not looking at, but they talked about being a fit on Sportsnet. JT Realmuto. He's a catcher. So everyone's like, what about Danny Jansen? Well, if you're looking to build up an organization, if you're looking to do it fast, Realmuto can give you an option. Realmuto can also DH if you want to split catching duties between him and Jansen, and he can play first base if you want to give Vladdy a night off. Realmuto is one of the fastest catchers in the league.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy that.
You think they should stick with Jansen?
I just think that we have bats. And we already have problems with who's going where sometimes, and it gets a little bit clogged on who's going where, especially in the infield.
But at catcher, I think.
But we have Jansen and we have what's his face, the other guy.
I think you give up on McGuire if you think about McGuire.
Think so?
I don't have a lot of hope for Reese McGuire, and Danny Jansen shows bits and pieces, and he's still really young. Don't get me wrong, Danny Jansen's really young.
saying he's not. He hasn't shown his full potential yet.
I wouldn't give up on Danny Jansen, but JT Realmuto he's an anomaly at catcher. He's one of those very rare offensive catchers, and he's still got the defensive team to.
Yeah, because that's true though. Yeah, because Danny Jansen, I'll be honest. I think he might be underperforming a tiny bit.
I think he is too. So,
but he still has room to grow. But I guess you drop McGuire, and you put in Realmuto, and have him and Jansen share.
And then when when Realmuto, you can even carry 3 catchers if you want.
I just dropped McGuire. I think you're right. McGuire.
No, I'm thinking as a third catcher, carry Caleb Joseph just in case anyone gets hurt. The old guy.
Just have him bench one.
Think about the possibility of you got just behind the plate. And then if Jansen goes down, you can't put Realmuto to catch because you lose that. And I also just remember, what about Alejandro Kirk? Maybe this isn't a good idea. Is he going to give up on Kirk too? Another catcher?
Oh, is he the prospect?
Yeah, he's that short, stubby guy that came up at the end of last year and was ripping it up.
He's a catcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Shoot,
So,
we keep him on. Maybe we just keep him on for a few years.
I don't think Realmuto is going to take a short-term deal. I'll give you an idea on what his numbers are like. Over 162 game average. He's played 7 years in the MLB. 5 years for the Marlins. The last 2 for the Phillies. Over 162 game average. You're looking at 21 home runs, 35 doubles, 79 RBIs. Will bat in 278.
That's not bad.
He's an offensive catcher, and that's pretty good in the catcher position. On base, you're looking at 328. And you're looking at a guy that slugs 455.
Yeah, so he's another one of those that, like, we were talking about. Oh no, that episode never got uploaded, so we were talking about. Where he's one of those, like, slightly above average guys, where he does his job and he does it, like, well. So you may not notice him like as like an all-star, but he's definitely doing his job well.
Well, he's a 2-time all-star, 2018 and 2019. So one with Miami and then one with Philadelphia.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And last year, obviously not, because there was no all-star game.
Mm-hmm.
As fielding, he carries a .993 fielding percentage over 7 seasons at catcher.
Pretty good.
When he plays first base, he has 4 seasons where he has 32 games at first base. That's not a lot. It's enough. It's enough to kind of, he's done it before, 32 games.
Yeah.
He's never made an error at first base in 32 games.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then 663 games at catcher. He's only made, let's see here, he's made 41. So yeah, 983 fielding percentage.
983 or 993?
993.
993, okay. That's what I thought.
Caught stealing percentage, as a catcher, 36%. He's caught 36% of runners, which is pretty high.
It's decent, yeah.
That's pretty high. 1 year in 2019, so not last year, but the year before, he led the league in 47%.
Oh, wow.
Caught almost half the runners.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You're not running on that guy.
Yeah, no. It's just, I don't know, with Jansen and Kirk and McGuire and...
Yeah, you would have to give up on 2 of them.
Yeah, which sucks because 2 of them are young.
All of them are young.
McGuire, sorry, gonna go somewhere. I don't think McGuire's gonna go anywhere.
I would get rid of McGuire. It all depends, because JT Realmuto, I think, is a good boost behind the plate. But you're right.
I feel like you get to pick up if you're going for some sort of playoff push or something.
It does clog up the mills.
I don't think we're going for a World Series or anything next year.
I don't think he's going to take a short-term deal. If he was going to take a short-term deal, that'd be great. Like 3 years.
Until Kirk comes up, like, in a more of a permanent kind of...
Yeah, Kirk comes up, and you say, hey, Kirk, give us a year or 2. Do a little more Buffalo Bison work. And we'll call you when Realmuto's done.
Yeah.
When he's done his work.
But yeah, he probably, because he's not old, Realmuto.
Then again, he's 29.
So he's probably looking for somewhere where he could play for the rest of his career.
He's probably looking for a 5 to 6 year deal. I wouldn't be surprised. He's really good, so it's not like people are going to be like, well, what have you done? Well, he's been good, especially the last 3 years. There's the last 3 years. 3 years going to a contract year, I think he's locked himself up a good deal here.
Yeah, so he probably want to come on a short term with us. Still, I don't know if he was really meant to be our thing. Yeah.
Now, lastly, a trade that they were talking about, and this one caught me by surprise because I don't know where he's going to play. I have no idea. Francisco Lindor. Cleveland Indians. He's a shortstop. Smile. Indians.
No. For who? Like, who are we gonna give up there?
I don't know. They just talked about, they beat it around a little bit, just a tiny bit. So this is like, don't think this is like.
I don't see that one at all. I see one unless that I see Bermudo.
But they said, look at it. This is his last year of his deal. Cleveland has already talked about wanting to shed salary. He is an unreal defender. Now, here's the only spot I can see it fitting, okay? Hear me out. If Frankie Lindor can play third,
Frankie.
perfect.
Can I play third?
Perfect. He's a shortstop. Why not? He's got the arm. He's got the defense. He's a Gold Glove winning shortstop.
Yeah.
Why not? We're looking for a third baseman.
Yeah.
We've tried out Brandon Drury there. We've tried out Travis Shaw there. My heart isn't content on either of those guys at third base.
I guess, yeah, shortstop and third aren't that far apart, like, playing-wise. Well, no, the difference is that the shortstop you cover more ground, but in, like, more over more time. Third base is you cover less ground, but it's really fast. It's really, really fast.
Like, or even, like, with Kevin Biggio moved to third, and would Frankie play second? Or would Bichette play second?
Yeah, Bichette could play second.
Or would Bichette play third?
I feel like Bichette's pretty much secured at shortstop, though.
I think he is, too.
He plays the position well.
Would he play second? Or would he play third? See, these are things that we as fans and not upper management don't know.
I feel like he could play second, though. Shortstop and second are pretty interchangeable.
But think about him playing third as well. Could he be a third baseman?
He could. He's young, too, so you could teach him shit.
And Frankie plays short? That left side of the field has me drooling. I don't care third or short.
Because Bichette's young enough where you can even if he's not like third, the best at third yet, you can make him good
or second base too, because Kevin Biggio does play third already.
Yeah, and Lindor could certainly swing the bat.
You move Kevin to third, Lindor at short, who's unreal with the bat and unreal with the glove, and then Bichette at second, and then Vladdy at first. Oh my god. Like, that's something skill.
I can see that, but then we have these players we're doing, like, not that much with.
Like who?
Like with Shaw.
Shaw's done. Shaw's on a 1-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, we're up. If we want to re-sign him, we can re-sign him.
So we just drop him.
And to me, he's not an everyday player anyways. Brandon Drury is not an everyday player anyways. So make them bench players. Yeah. Make them play only out of a 162 game season. Make them only play 40 games.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? I think these kids now, with kind of technically 2 half seasons under their belt, technically, because last season wasn't a full season either. I think they're ready to be, trial by fire. Like, they've played enough games now. Let them play.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Let them play.
I can definitely see that. Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know what it's going to cost them. Maybe they signed Real Muto and moved one of their prospect catchers as a piece to get Lindor. Maybe that's how Remuto fits.
Maybe, yeah. I still think that it could be a good idea to sign Remuto if he would take it for 2 or 3 years, and then that gives time for like Kirk, because he can still come up in 2 to 3 years. You could drop McGuire. Then you don't have Jansen playing every game, who still definitely has to grow a bit more, obviously, and you can have a good solid guy in there. That I like that sound of that. The only thing is I don't know what we would trade for Lindor, unless it is we pick up Remuto and then trade him off. But would the Indians want Remuto?
I mean, I wouldn't pick up Remuto and trade him off.
No, that's what you said. That's what you said. Trade him off. Sorry, trade him a prospect.
Maybe they pick up Remuto and trade Jansen.
Oh.
I know the Indians are looking for a catcher.
And they probably want young, don't they? What do you think?
What better catcher than Danny Jansen, who's already been a Gold Glove finalist and can hit the ball sometimes?
Sometimes. Bold.
And, when he does, it goes far.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd want Jansen if I was them. You know what I mean?
Maybe throw in another, like, another prospect. I don't know what the Jays got in the farm system, but maybe they got you know what I mean? Like the possibilities are there.
Yeah. We could, yeah, because if we do actually pick up Jansen and trade off a prospect, or pick up Ramiro and trade off a prospect. Wow, that could be really good. We get Ramiro and Lindor. And then we'd actually be...
That team is scary.
That team's good. We're still shitty pitchers, though. That's the thing. In the end, we're still shitty pitchers.
And Bauer. They would pick up all three.
I guess we do have a lot of money now, because Rogers is a pretty big corporation. And they're giving us support. So, yeah, dude, could you imagine actually getting Ramiro, then trade off Jansen, or Kirk, or both, for all I fucking care. Probably not both. But one of them. Yeah, one of them.
I think Kirk's more susceptible to be a backup at this point. You can't take away Jansen's playing time. He wouldn't be happy.
No, yeah, and plus they probably want Jansen more. And Kirk probably wouldn't be a bad backup at all. So, yeah, you trade off Jansen, you get Lindor, and now all of a sudden you have this amazing infield. Catching is good now, too, which model teams don't even have at all. Because then we could pick up Ramiro for like 5 to 6 years. We'll give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit, okay, now that we've talked about this for like 15, 20 minutes, it's starting to seem like a bit more like possible. Probably not. Probably won't happen.
Probably not.
It's a bit too much of like a road to the show thing, or a franchise thing, it seems like a franchise mode.
It's the dreams of a fan.
Mm-hmm. It'd be cool, though. It'd definitely be cool. But yet again, I don't know if we're going for that. Are we? Or are we?
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we picked up Ryu. We wouldn't pick up Ryu for 3 years if we didn't think we were serious.
That's true. That's true.
He's only got 2 more years on his deal now after last year. So we'll see.
Actually, though, if we have Ramiro and Lindor, though, you can do stuff, I feel.
Yep.
Just pitching is such a problem. Even if we got Bauer.
Possibilities are endless, my friend. All right, guys, that's all we got time for. Thanks for tuning in for technically the first episode of Our Favorite Sport.
Yep.
If you liked what you heard today, subscribe. Like, review, do everything you can. Share it with your friends. If you think your friends are sport heads just like you, share it.
Yeah, share it.
We would love the support. We wouldn't, and also donate to Movember. Link down below.
Yeah.
Please. All right, guys. We will talk to you later.
See ya.